the Middle-Aged Bodcast. Getting older, but having some laughs.
Welcome to the Middle-Aged Podcast with me, Raging Rich.
And me, T.A. Shalano.
T.A., it is episode 9 of season 6.
The penultimate episode of the season. Here we are.
Yeah, we've flown through this one, actually. It's gone quite quickly. I'm amazed how quickly we've got through yet another season. And we are yet another step closer to our charity walk.
Yeah, just a few weeks to go now. Those boots are made for walking. And that's just what we'll do. And we'll stop that there. But we have been out for a walk, haven't we?
We have indeed. And we'll get into that a little bit later with our returning segment. But I suppose we should kick it off, as usual, with the weigh-in.
Oh, here we go. This will be fun. Should we start with a Raging Rich? So, he was...
I was going to say, we're going to do the drum roll.
You want a drum roll? I'll put your drum roll in. Go for it. So, you were 19 stone, 5 pounds, which is 123.2 kilos last time out. You are now 19 stone, 4 pounds, which is 122.7 kilos.
It's a loss, which is good. I'm pleased with that because it was going up. So I'm glad it's gone down.
Yeah, you're having a weird season, actually. And then for me, so I was 19 stone, which is 120.9 kilos. And I have gone to 19 stone, 2 pounds, which is 121.8 kilos, which I'm obviously not thrilled about. But as far as the season goes, yeah, you and I are just sort of all over the shop, really. A bit up, bit down, bit across. Not much kind of improvement, really.
No,
but yeah,
no, it's been a weird season, hasn't it? And I know we could sit here, we can make excuses. I know we've had things on, we've had a lot of different things going on, but it is about trying to make those changes and just being a little bit more, accountable, as we said. So, yeah, we need to start looking into that a little bit more.
With the charity walk on the horizon, the lighter we are, the easier those 12 miles may be, I suspect. I mean, we are running out of a bit low on time, but not entirely. We have got a little bit of time to get to a slightly better weight. Yeah.
So is it time then for the returning segment? Is it time for us to talk the walk?
You want to talk the walk? Or I prefer Raging Rich's rambling. But
no, it's talk the walk.
Talk the walk.
Not only that, I have a jingle.
Talk the walk. Say what you mean, then you walk that talk. Talk the walk. Where every step starts with a little talk. Talk the walk.
We have just been for a... roughly 3 mile, 4.6, 4.7 kilometres, 4.8 kilometres walk, have we not? And so fit are we, listeners, that we've had to have 45 minutes sit down when we got back before we had energy back for this.
No, none of that. So listen, we've been out. We have done a few walks now, actually, and that's the thing. I'm just going to get the statistical analysis here, TA. So, obviously, I've been out. I did my first walk, and we spoke a bit about that a little while ago. And so that was a few weeks ago now. And I did a 5.3 kilometers walk. We then went out together and did a walk of 4.8 kilometres. Probably need to convert these into miles, really, don't I, rather than using them as kilometres. But we're talking sort of a 3 mile walk each time,
3 miles, yeah.
sort of just under. And then I went out again, actually, last weekend, did a 5.94 kilometre walk the other week on my own. And then today we have done a 4.67 kilometre walk. Now, obviously, we cut it slightly short. We cut it to an hour flat, purely because we were recording. So we have done that. But we also have been planning a few more walks, trying to put a little bit of a plan together in terms of distance and in terms of sort of different routes, things like that. So yeah, lots of progress in that respect. So
I was going to say it's actually sort of turned a little bit, really, in some respects, because listeners from previous episodes will know where I'd got out walking, you were injured, couldn't get out walking, and were feeling a bit sort of, now it's kind of gone almost the other way. You've been doing more walking than I have, and I've been the one not injured but stuck kind of in situations where not been able to kind of get out as much as perhaps I would like. But you've really sort of got into a bit of a momentum now. I think are you enjoying walking?
I am. I'm trying to just keep it going. I am walking around, playing music. Music for my last walk was Kids in Glass Houses, so I've changed it up, folks. I do change what I'm playing sometimes. But yeah, I've been just walking around, trying to find different routes. So last weekend I did a bit of a random route round here, which was fun. It was fine. It was a bit of a busy road crossing at one point, but nothing too sort of difficult or dangerous or anything like that. Just being aware of where you are. And then, yeah, I suppose the other thing is, as we say, trying to get a few walks in individually, doing the ones together just to sort of make sure that we're pacing ourselves at a similar pace, stuff like that.
I think the other thing about it is, because you and I obviously don't generally, outside of this, spend much time walking, right, together, certainly. So I think there's also an element of how we can get used to the fact we're going to have to walk miles and miles together. So this is also, the training is also building up to how we deal with that, I think, whether it's, walking at the same pace or, just, are we having, you're going to listen to music? Are we going to talk at different points? Are we, we've kind of got to get all of that sort of zoned in to the process.
We have got a plan, haven't we, to do a slightly longer route, and that's sort of a test run.
Yeah, we're going to try and build our endurance up, I think, as we're getting closer to the actual event day, and probably trying to attempt somewhere around the 75% mark of the actual walk, and do a walk of that length, maybe just, a week or two before the big event. So it's not a complete shock to the system if we've been doing smaller walks, and then you're going to try and do something that's obviously a lot longer. So yeah, it's felt like it's building that now, isn't it? There's an actual, we're looking at it and going, right, we're going to do this charity, training walk here, do this, fit this in, and then we'll be ready to go and hit the streets. And we're just sort of hoping that the weather is not unkind to us on the day itself. We obviously now walk earlier. We had a little bit of rain, which
it wasn't too bad though.
No, it was that sort of fine rain though, so it's just a bit irritating. So, but we got through it and then it stopped. And typically, now that we're sat here recording, the sun's out.
Yeah,
which is just ironic. But yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting there.
I think so. And I've got to admit, I am feeling a little bit better. I mean, I know we said after the walk we've done today was a little bit tired out, but obviously knowing how the weather was going to be, wearing some heavier sort of coats to sort of make sure we weren't rained on and stuff. But I think when we get towards the actual walk itself, obviously we'll know a little bit more about, we certainly going to hopefully have some better footwear. That'll be the big thing, because I think realistically now it's about getting the right footwear for the practice walks, making sure that we are properly prepared. And we've spoken a bit about that, make sure we take a first aid kit, make sure we've got water, maybe some energy bars, things like that, just to keep us going throughout.
I just love a first aid kit. We're always safety car, literally just...
You're the one who says we need a safety car.
It's just we've kind of really sort of bigged this up. I mean, it's a long walk.
It is,
but it's not running a marathon though, is it?
No, it's not. But it's probably for us that kind of thing, considering certainly my baseline fitness.
Yeah, but do you not think you're getting a bit fit? You've been doing all these walks and stuff. Do you feel, irrespective of the scales issues that we have, do you feel physically? How do you feel your fitness is?
Well, I said to you, didn't I, after we'd done that walk, my feet hurt less than they do when I started doing them. Like, now it's like a light tingling of, oh, you've had a walk for an hour and kind of probably not in the best footwear, but you know, it's not sort of painful. No. You can just, you've done it. And I think that's the thing. And I think it's about having proper recovery, having a proper rest after you've done it, making sure that you have taken the right sort of things with you that you're going to need, certainly water and things like that. We've mentioned, we're going to probably be stopping off and getting things as we're walking, be able to top up water, stuff like that, things like that. So that's not so bad. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've got to admit, I am starting to look forward to it now. It's gone from being a bit of I'm dreading it to, obviously there's nerves about it, but I am actually looking forward to doing it. It's come around really quickly, and yeah, I think it's going to be a really great thing to test us in terms of doing the walk. And then, yeah, seeing how we're going. And I do want to thank everyone who has donated so far. We'll have the link up in the episode description here if anyone does want to donate. But yeah, we've been really, really trying to get as much training, practice, whatever you want to call it, in. And I think we're doing well, actually, considering, this was just something we came up with sort of end of last year, start of this year.
It is rapidly approaching, though. That's what I'm finding. You look at the calendar and you go, wow, okay, that really isn't long now. So it's a mixture of kind of, I don't say excitement, apprehension. It's all those kind of things coming into it now, isn't it? Where it's starting to feel a bit more real. What was just a bit of an idea now feels very real. Obviously, people have been donating, and that's fantastic. And that puts pressure on as well now, because you've got to do it now, right? You can't go,
100%.
People have you've donated money, and actually don't feel I can do 12 miles. It's like you've got to do it now. The pressure is on.
We can do it. I know we can do it.
The heat is on your feet.
That's gonna cost us more in copyright than any other reference ever.
No. Well, I even changed the lyrics slightly. So anyway,
I was waiting for you to go da 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 da.
What's that one?
That's the instrumental bit of The Heat Is On.
Well, don't do more. Don't do more. Don't do more. Don't increase the costs or the risk of costs. What are you doing? It would come out of the charity. No, it won't. It won't. That's a joke. Because it is a direct link. If you would like to sponsor us, it is a direct link to the charity. It does not come through Rage and Rich or I. If you,
it's a Just Giving page, so the money goes direct to the charity, to Andy's Man Club, and as we said, really great cause. I think any sort of help. I actually read there's a separate mental health charity. I don't think it's a men's mental health charity. It's just a general sort of mental health charity. But I'd read the other day that there was one that's closed down because they're having a lot of trouble with funding and things like that. So yeah, to be able to support Andy's Man Club and raise some funds, it's so important to do this for these charities, I think. On
that note, I think, I don't know about you, but having just done that sort of best part 3 mile walk we've done today, it does clear your head out as well a little bit, doesn't it? As well as the physical angle to it. I think it does give you a bit of a, clears the mind. I've had loads going on. Obviously, I've been having DIY projects at home and different things. It's actually nice just to get out in the air and actually sort of clear your head out a little bit, actually. So, I found the benefit of that. Quite how I'll feel during the 12 miles. I mean, I don't know. My head might be clear by about 8 miles, and I'll be like, so another 4 miles to go.
Yeah, but you know what? When you get to that point, I think you'll just have you'll
be We'll be playing the music to keep us going as well. We'll have lots, we'll have to get music going, won't we?
Okay.
Inspirational sort of dance music, Chariots of Fire. No, okay. But yes, so aside from Talk the Walk, what else have we been up to?
I think that's a great opportunity for us to segue into the fact that we attended a event the other week. We attended the TMNT 2 Secret of the Ooze celebration, hosted by Stacey from Stacey's Pop Culture Parlour, who was a guest last season on the podcast, and obviously we guested on her podcast as well last year. So yeah, we went to the Mockingbird Cinema in Birmingham and attended a really good event. I really enjoyed it. And thank you to Stacey and to Geeky Brummy, who co-hosted the event. Really good. So yeah, we had pizza from Baked in Brick. That was delicious. That was a really nice pizza. There were some stickers. The turtles. I gave mine to my nephew in the end.
No, you didn't. Don't. Of course, you've kept those stickers.
No, I gave them to my nephew. That's my nephew.
We will be checking with his nephew that he's received these stickers.
He'll just say no.
He'll say no because he'd be truthful.
It wouldn't be truthful. He'd just say no.
They'll be in this room somewhere.
So yeah, we did. I did like that Stacey had a little little card cut out. Like not a business card, but like a little promo card for her podcast. I thought that was quite nice as a little promotional item, and certainly something I think we should probably think a little bit more about, because those coasters we do are quite premium, and I think we need to have something a little bit more that we can do in bulk and sort of hand out at things. But yeah, watched 3 episodes of the cartoon, including one of my favourite episodes, Cowabunga Shredhead, where Shredder thinks he's Michelangelo. If you've seen the show, you will know exactly what we're talking about there. Had a quiz.
It was a quiz, yeah.
Did well on the quiz. I was quite pleased.
You did very well on the quiz.
Well,
I was less so.
No, you did help out on some of the questions. You say that
Not much.
You did contribute. I'm not having that. It was a team effort, and we did not let ourselves down.
My turtles knowledge is nowhere near as strong as most of the people in the room.
We didn't let ourselves down. We didn't win any prizes, but we finished. I'm sure we finished like top 4 or top 5. So yeah, did well. And then of course watched the movie. Now I never really got a proper chance to ask you about this because I'd seen the film before. I'd seen it at the cinema when it first came out. Obviously, I was a kid then, and I saw it since. I've definitely seen it. I would say that's probably the 4th time ever I've seen it, 3rd or 4th time that I've ever seen it. But what did you think of the film?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, obviously, I don't think I'd seen the second film. I think the first film I'd seen as a kid, so it's difficult to reference. It's all right. It's because what it is.
You see, the first film is very close to the original source material. So just sort of as a little bit of a sort of backstory to it, the original comic was supposed to be a one and done thing. So in the original comic, spoilers here, they kill the Shredder. Like, he does get killed. And obviously in the first film, they kind of imply that he's been crushed in a trash compactor. And clearly Casey Jones isn't in the second movie because he's been arrested for murdering the Shredder. No. But yeah, it's weird because then obviously the cartoon came out. And the cartoon was quite light, quite humorous. This film came out literally a year after the first film. And they very much toned it down. So the first film was too violent. You'll notice they don't use their weapons, really. It's like Donatello will use his staff to knock something out of somebody's hand. Leonardo used his swords to put them in the ceiling and do a kick by holding on to them for some momentum.
I never really noticed that, actually. That's an interesting point. That sort of work to try and make it look less of a violent thing.
It's why when Michelangelo uses the nunchucks in the second movie, they're sausages.
Right, okay.
It's literally because they don't
want
use
to
the
portray
weapons
violence
whatsoever.
Okay.
I mean, I actually found it was enjoyable to watch. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as the first film. I have seen that first film countless times. Certainly, definitely well into the double figures on the amount of times I've seen the first film. And I do really enjoy it. I think the blend of the humour, the original sort of stuff, kind of making it for an older viewer as well. It's not dumbed down as a sort of it's just for kids thing. There's something there for everyone. And I don't think, looking back, it's actually that violent. Yes, there's martial arts stuff in there, but actually there's a lot of films nowadays that are far more violent than that are like a rating that children can go and see as long as they're supervised by an adult. I know, but there's a lot more
changing times, I guess.
Yeah,
that, maybe.
And I suppose it's like the whole thing of when the Turtles first came to the UK, they were the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because ninja was like a dirty word, because everyone's going to start trying to fight and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, they obviously have changed the branding since all to Ninja Turtles again.
Yeah, sure. Kind of. Yeah, thinking back to when I was a kid. Yeah, it was. Of course, it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, wasn't it? Not Ninja. Yeah. Of course, it was.
But but I really enjoyed the event.
It was good.
I would love it if we could get a showing. And Stacey, if you're listening, please try and get it at some point. We'll make up a random anniversary for the first film.
For what?
Just for the first film. I want to see the first film again.
Well, I think you're just going to have to.
I want to see it at the cinema. No, I want to see it at the cinema.
Well, when's its next
I
anniversary?
can watch it myself at any time. I own about 3 different copies of it.
Well, when's its next anniversary thing? Is it about
2030.
Oh, okay. We got a bit of a wait then.
We've got 4 years.
4 years. Wait between World Cups. Basically, this is your version of that. You got to wait 4 years between events.
But it is mad, isn't it? It's like,
Also, they had done the first one, but obviously we hadn't.
Yeah, we didn't really know about the event or anything. No. But yeah, it was good. I did enjoy it. I do like certain parts of the film. There's a lot of funny gags in there. I do like the fact, and this is the one thing I will say just before we sort of move on to the next bit, but there was a thing, obviously, when the second film came out, everyone was like, they're going to do Bebop and Rocksteady. And clearly they don't. They do Tokka and Razor, the snapping turtle and the wolf instead. That everyone was really let down by, that it wasn't Bebop and Rocksteady. And it took years then for us to actually get Bebop and Rocksteady in a film. But yeah, it was all right. It was okay. Vanilla Ice is in it. There's Ninja Rap. I annoyed you, I think, by playing Go Ninja Go before we went and stuff. But
you were a little bit excitable, it has to be said. I mean, okay, it's the Turtles. You were going to get a pizza. But, it was like you sort of like a little kid, really, I suppose, to some degree. You're very excitable, for a middle-aged man, go to the cinema. But that's fine. And speaking of Vanilla Ice, of course, we have a tenuous link to Vanilla Ice, do we not? Because Kristen Minter, who he did a film with, was a guest. Well, not a guest. Did a special appearance on our Christmas episode. So we've got the 6 degrees of separation. There's a very small degree separation between us and Vanilla Ice.
And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And by default, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, really enjoyed that. Great little event to go to. And you know what? If something like that comes up again for anything, sort of film, any sort of film that's celebrating a big anniversary, and it's a film, you think, oh yeah, I think it's worth going to. Like we went to watch Speed, didn't we, a few years ago for the 30th anniversary. We watched Terminator in concert. We've done a few sort of things. Yeah. So yeah, it's worth, I think a lot of these films now where they're celebrating the big anniversaries, it's well worth going to watch.
Yeah, it's great to go and see things, back, especially back on the screen, big screen, especially when you didn't see them the first time if you were too young, or there's that as well, which is good. So yeah, but I've got another segment for you.
Have I got to get a new jingle prepared?
No, I'll just do it for you. Shalano shows, Shalano shows, the Shalanos only go to shows. Hey, listen to that. The quality of that. You don't need a jingle when you got me and I can do that. Just like that. So yeah, avid listeners will know that it seems that Mrs. Shalano and I spend a lot of time going to shows, and thus it has been. We've been to another 2 shows, one of which was planned from a long time ago, months and months ago, and we actually went to that show, and while sat at that show, we saw an advertisement for another show at the same venue 2 days later and went, should we come back in 2 days? And we did. 2 very different things, but both at the Glee Club in Birmingham, which is a great comedy club. And we saw Simon Evans, which we'd had the tickets for a long time. and then we saw an advertisement for another show with Hassan Al Habib, and we went back to see that. And both shows were great, and it's brilliant to get out and have a laugh. But it just to add to the flow of anybody that listens to this, do the Shalanos only go to shows? And I think the answer seems to be yes, but actually, I think after this, we haven't got many shows booked for a little while. So
you mentioned the Glee Club, though. They do gigs as well, don't they? They do music gigs as well. Because I went and saw Andrea Corr there many years ago, playing in the smaller room. I didn't realise there were two rooms because I've only been that one time. But yeah, it is a great venue because you've seen some really good comedians there, haven't you? Before they've sort of hit the big time.
Yeah, we've kind of seen quite a few people there over the years, and some of those people have obviously gone on to great success. But yeah, no, really enjoy it. It's a great small intimate venue, which I really like for comedy. Comedy's kind of veered into now the bigger that they get, they end up in the arenas and stuff, and something's lost maybe I think in comedy in the arena, and it's more of a theatre or a room experience. And the Glee Club's a great sort of traditional venue for that kind of thing.
Well, you say that, but like going back to when me and Ruth went back and we watched Sarah Pascoe a few weeks back and referenced that earlier this season. That was at a local town hall.
Yes.
So like there are certain tours going on. Like Jimmy Carr started doing it, hasn't he? So he's doing like he'll go into the arenas, but in between it, he's doing like the town halls as well and some smaller venues as part of the same tour.
He seems to veer away from the arenas. I think he prefers the theatre experience. But some of the comics now, it's very difficult to see them, especially the bigger ones, outside of the arenas. And I think that's a shame because ultimately that experience, you say about going to a town hall type thing or a club, is a much more intimate experience, isn't it? Do you know, in that sense? It's otherwise, if you're right at the back of an arena, you're watching it on a screen effectively. It's not the same. You can't see the comedians' facial reactions, or you haven't got that same interaction. Whereas when you're in a smaller venue or a theatre, and you've got that as well, you can kind of see them, and it's much more personal, I think, in that sense. And I have seen comedy in an arena, and I don't personally think it doesn't matter if they're the best comedian in the world. I just don't think it's the same. I just don't.
I think you're right, but there's certain comedians you're just not going to get in those smaller venues now.
No, I
That's
think unfortunately some of them they seldom do some of the smaller places now. But we enjoyed it, and I look at the list of shows that we've been to, and it's quite a lot. We obviously do go to a lot of shows. So we're very cultured people. Or not, as the case may be.
Speaking of like the comedy stuff, have you seen Last One Laughing on Amazon?
So I'm watching the second season at the moment. So please don't give me
No, I won't. I won't give anything away, but I have been watching that as well. And I've got to say that as a sort of lineup of the comedians, like, is very, very good. The way they've sort of over the two seasons, what they've done, and sort of with the lineups, especially sort of with the. I was watching back the first one because I'd not seen the first one. I'd seen a few clips and watching it back. Have you seen the first season?
Yes, yeah.
That's the case. I can reference a couple of things from that because that's good. Because obviously Richard Ayoade is in the first season. I just think he's brilliant because he's so deadpan and he just doesn't. And it's the way Bob Mortimer gets him, and no one else was going to break him. And it's not even some of the stuff that gets him is not actually that funny in the grand scheme of like some of the stuff Bob Mortimer's done in the series, and yet he gets him with a couple of really throwaway things that just completely break him. I did find with the first series the fact that Sarah Pascoe was the first one out, and obviously I think it was last year it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously I'm watching it, and I've gone and I didn't know, but I'd seen Sarah Pascoe live, so I was like, oh, I hope she's in this for a little bit. And then of course she's the first one out. But yeah, I did enjoy it, and the second series has been good as well. I think the lineup they've had to get that stronger lineup, really, really good.
And the great thing is, if you and I do season 3, I mean, this is very ambitious, but if we were to be invited on, I now know just to get you to laugh, I just have to effectively sing. You just can't stop laughing if I sing. So
Oh, we couldn't be on there together because I reckon, stop myself from laughing at everybody's jokes, bar you, who would be able to get me to laugh. I do find that, though. This is the thing I found on that show that's really good. Most of the time, they make each other laugh when they're having the little conversations, the big sketches they're doing stuff. Yes, they get each other, but a lot of the time they manage to block it out and not fall for it. It's when they're having those little conversations and you find like someone will say something and then like they'll kind of smell blood and they'll go in and they'll be like, right, now I've got to keep going because I reckon I can get you to laugh and get you out. And yeah.
that might be the biggest compliment you've ever paid me. That if we were on there in a room full of professional comedians, the one person who could make you laugh is me.
I think if we were to put the comedians in there, I think the only comedian genuinely that could probably break me would be Richard Ayoade.
Okay.
I reckon he would break me. Like in that first series, you know, when he keeps trying to do doors like Jimmy Carr does and he like follows him out. I'd be laughing at that. That would be the thing that, and it's not even that funny, but the fact he's just doing it all the time, it would just make me laugh. But I think realistically, them cracking jokes and stuff, I reckon I could block a lot of that out because I found actually there were times they were telling these jokes, certain times I wasn't laughing and I was just like, I don't think that's that fun. Not in a horrible way, but they're clearly just trying everything. Some stuff works and some stuff doesn't. Yeah. And different people will laugh at different things because it's not them doing a routine. I find the routines they do very funny. I thought, what's his name? Joe Wilkinson.
Oh, yeah.
And when he did the lifeboat speech in the first series, I just thought that was brilliant because he was clearly just like, I'm not even going to tell a joke. I'm just going to do something so deadpan, and then at the end have this thing. And I thought that was genius. So yeah, I've discovered a few new comedians to follow as well from the newer series. I knew a few of them from like Taskmaster and stuff, obviously knew Ramesh, obviously, and stuff like that.
But this segment has gone from Shalano's shows to Last One Laughing.
Yeah, we've probably
veered off.
Amazon. We've done you a bit of promo here, so if you want to pay us a bit of money, we do need it. Put it into the charity. Donate to the charity, Amazon.
Sorry, are you asking Amazon to donate into your charitable walk?
Yeah.
Oh,
we don't want no money. We don't need sponsorship, Amazon. I mean, we'd like it, but just donate to the charity walk.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure how you get a multi sort of conglomerate company to sponsor a charity walk, but there we go.
Well, we've tried.
Well, you've tried. Yeah, I didn't attempt any such thing.
So yeah, I suppose we're sort of wrapping up a little bit now, aren't we?
And we'll be into the season finale next week with our final preparations for the walk.
We'll be, we'll have some good updates on that. We'll have done a good fair bit of training through there, and should be very very good to have those updates. And then yes, the walk should be happening out of season, so we won't have sort of a week before episode or anything like that. But
I think it's when we're due to come back, though.
It should be when we're due to come back. So season 7 should be the first episode should be titled "Walking the Walk."
Yes, obviously.
There you go.
As opposed to, you just won't buy Raging Rich's Rambling, will you?
No, because Talk the Walk.
Shalano's Steps. No.
Talk the Walk.
Okay. Talk the Walk. Fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, TA. Thank you very much, broadcasters. We will catch you next week with our season finale. Goodbye.
Want more middle-aged podcast in your life? Of course you do. Follow us on social media for behind-the-scenes stuff, extra larks, and all our latest updates. We're on Instagram and Threads at Midaged Podcast. Facebook's easier. Just head to facebook.com/middleaged podcast. If you're still hanging on to Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, we're at Midaged Podcast. And if you're on Blue Sky, it's at middleagedpodcast.bsky.social. Or you can swing by our website, middleagedpodcast.co.uk. Give us a follow and stay in the loop. Cheers for listening.